All right, I guess I'll go ahead and hit this too. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. Well, fornication. What is fornication? Well, fornication, believe it or not, is not what you think. Not the way you have been trained, not the way you have been reared, not the way you have been educated to believe what it is to be. Fornication today is considered, because of penmanship of the government, is any sexual act formed outside the bonds of marriage without the government-sanctioned marriage license. Now, that's what they say. But is that the true definition of fornication? And the answer is a positively no. That's not the answer, nor is that the definition of fornication. Prior to 1300, it used to be that the definition of fornication was any sex with a prostitute. That was considered fornication. Well, why did they change fornication? Why did they change the meaning of fornication? Because during the time of slavery, the colonies, the 13 colonies, made miscegenation laws. That means having sex with someone outside of what the German philosopher in the 1600s called Johann Blumenbach defined as race. Now the Bible defines things, people as nations. Caucasoid, Mongoloid, and Negroid. That's a total redefinition. But that's the way that they do it today. But under the biblical reference, it was Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right? So, when they had miscegenation laws, the whole idea is that they could charge you with a felony for committing fornication or miscegenation, or what is commonly called mixed marriages today. Well, whenever the states decided that they needed more money, moolah, what did they do? Well, they said, you know what? We can do away with these miscegenation laws, all these other different things that we have put to this, and we'll give them permission or a license. Now, a license is something that is granted to you that otherwise it would be illegal to do if it wasn't for the public authority or for the licenses. In other words, you have just been bribed half to death by the United States government. They had permission, mixed marriages, mixed people, to receive and to do an act without which permission would have been illegal. Now remember, according to the Black's Laws Dictionary, and these computer screens, according to the Black's Laws Dictionary, it points to this historical fact when it defines marriage license as a license or permission granted by public authority to persons who intend to marry. All right? Again, I'll go back and say it again. When the government, your government, needed finances, some states began to allow interracial marriages or miscegenation as long as those marrying received a license from the state. Now, mind you, prior to all this, fornication was with a prostitute or a whore. You can define it, it's still one and the same. In other words, now, biblically, in the Bible, there is nothing illegal about a man or a woman agreeing to have sex, believe it or not, contrary to popular opinion. However, the Bible does give us conditions and terms in the law, in the Torah. Starting Exodus 21, Deuteronomy 21, you can read those whole entire chapters. It breaks it down pretty extensively. If you agree to have sex with a woman and a woman agrees to have sex with a man, you are in fact married. There's no such thing as dating. There's no such thing as boyfriend, girlfriend. There's no such thing as take this man or woman for a test drive. If you like them, then you can go ahead and go out and have what you would call illicit sex, which is called whoredoms, without the conviction of being sinful, wrong. Once you had sex with that person, they had become your spouse. That's the biblical thing. So since they have so tore up everything today. Definition of adultery. If a woman commits adultery with a man. You know what? Let me stop this video right here because now I'm going off into something else, okay? But anyway, that was fornication. So nowadays, people are doing worse than fornication. They are actually committing whoredoms with all this in 1 minute, out the next minute with relationship. In 1 minute, out the next minute. And that's the reason why you also see a social and political and economic decline of every society. Every empire that cannot control its sexual appetite will ultimately succumb itself to debauchery and decline, and thereby be finished as a world empire. You just heard the truth, and the truth straight way from Pastor Dowell. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day.